Good morning, everybody. Under the so-called no-deal option, a WTO-based relationship, our GDP will be 8.5% lower by 2030 than if we were to remain in the EU. That is equivalent to £12.7 billion, or £2,300 for every person in Scotland. Under this option, real disposable income would also be 9.6% lower and business investment 10.2% lower. So the evidence we present today is clear. The best way to minimise the economic damage of Brexit is to stay inside the single market. It's also, in my view, the best way to safeguard workers' rights and the social, consumer and environmental protections that we have come to take for granted. The analysis that we published today is more detailed and extensive than anything so far provided by the UK government, and that in itself speaks volumes about their reckless and irresponsible approach. This paper looks at the only three realistic outcomes of Brexit. These are, firstly, staying in the single market; second, concluding a free trade agreement similar to that between the EU and Canada; and third, reverting to World Trade Organization terms, the so-called no-deal option. Our modelling takes account of the impact on trade, productivity and migration of each of these possible future relationships. As we enter this next crucial phase, the UK government must stop being driven by the obsessions of the hard Brexit wing of the Conservative Party. Keeping the Tory party together in an uneasy truce cannot and must not be a more important consideration and aspiration for the UK government than the job prospects, living standards and opportunities for this and future generations. Over the next 25 years, our own projected birth rate will not be sufficient to grow our population. In the period to 2041, all of our projected population growth will come from inward migration. Without that, our population could go into decline, and with it, our ability to grow our economy and fund our public services. So that would be the stark reality for Scotland of a restriction in our ability to attract people to our country. And that is why, as First Minister, I have a duty to make the case for free movement, no matter how difficult that is sometimes perceived to be. Of course, the opposition to free movement on the part of some people is often based on the view that migrants are somehow a burden, and that could not be further from the truth. The contribution of our fellow EU citizens is, of course, far more than just economic. Those who do us the honour of making Scotland their home make our country stronger in so many ways.